It is not always possible for you, the programmer, to write each and every function on your own at the time of the programming. In order to manage our time more efficiently, we use header files and functions written by other experts. Most of the functions related to the strings can be found in the string.h header file. The functions which are commonly used are discussed in this video. strlen is the function we looked at while discussing strings. It helps us in determining the size of the passed string excluding the terminating null. The safer alternative of this function can be identified by the extra n in the name when compared to the unsafe option. The unsafe version of the function, while counting the characters of the string, looks for the null character and continues the count until the null character is found in the memory. strlen is the safer equivalent of the string length function. It takes the string as a numeric value as its parameter. It returns the length of the string till the null value with the maximum of max length. strlen will never access beyond the max length limits, thus making it safer in case of null character is missing, which may lead to program crash. This code sample demonstrates the usage of strlen and strnlen functions. The first print statement prints the length of the string up to the null character, but excluding the null character. It makes use of the strlen function call. The second print statement makes use of the strnlen function and prints 8 instead of 12 because 8 has been passed to the max length parameter. It should be noted that the size of operator is used for the purpose of getting the size of memory consumed by a variable. When used on an array, it gives the total size allocated for the array, even if it is partially used. Whereas the strlen and strnlen functions return the value based on the content of the string stored in the character array. Consider this example. The array A has been allocated with size 10 and of character type. When we use the size of operator, it returns the size of the allocation, which is 10, whereas the strlen returns 7, which is the number of characters in the string learners. A lot of the times while programming, we need to merge strings together. We can do this either by writing our own loop which makes into account both strings and their respective lengths, or we can use the string concatenation function which takes destination string and source string along with numeric value representing the maximum characters that should be appended. It appends the source string at the end of the destination string which was passed. The program on the screen currently creates two strings, src and dest, with values apple and mango respectively. The string concatenation concatenates up to 6 characters in the string, which in the case in the complete string apple including the null terminator. As can be seen through the output screen, we have all used the copy and paste functions on our devices. But have you wondered how they actually work? We saw how we can paste in the previous function. We can combine strings together by attaching them to one another. But how about copying? To copy, we have a string copy function available to us. The function takes 3 parameters, destination string, source string and maximum size to copy. The string copy function copies no more than n bytes from the source string to the destination string. If the source string is shorter than n, null characters are appended to the destination until n bytes are written. Consider the example where we store the string hello in src and create an empty character array of size 6 named dest. Using the string copy function, we copy the string stored in src to dest and then display both the strings. We often need to compare the validity of strings or match them in case of operations such as password checks or privilege checks. To do that efficiently, the string.h library provides us with string compare function. It takes 3 input, 2 character arrays and a size value, and it returns whether the 2 passed strings are the same or not. It returns negative, 0 or positive integers depending upon whether the first n characters of the string pointed by S1 are less than, equal to or greater than the first n characters of the string pointed to by S2. The function does lexicographical comparison, in other words dictionary-based comparison. Let us see an example. Consider the program displayed on your screen. Currently, based on the number of characters in the comparison statement, the printed output will vary. In the first comparison statement, the first three characters in str1 and str2 are compared, which are AAA and AAA respectively. And since the strings are the same, the returned value is 0. If you look at the second comparison, we are comparing the first 4 characters of the strings str1 and str3. The first 4 characters in these strings are AAAB and AABG respectively. Since these two strings are not the same and lexicographically AAAB would be before AAABG, the value returned is +1. In the third comparison, we compare the strings AABG and AAAJ, which are the first 4 characters of str3 and str2 respectively. Since AAAJ would come before AABG in the dictionary, the function value returns -1. So this video was the last section of this lesson. Hope you must have enjoyed it. Do not forget to watch the video series dedicated to solving questions dealing with the topics covered in this video series. Keep looking for other interesting videos coming up. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.